In terms of this trade deal, how much of this do you think is an overhang? How much do you think this is actually is built in that there will be a deal? And how much does it even matter what the deal is so much as that there's a handshake and a photo op at this point?
Well, I would just say it's been Valentine's Day at TCW New America for the last 3.5 years. We've been running this fund. It's been fantastic. And I would say that the trade deal overhang has been in the market, continues to be in the market. And if we do get a trade deal, I think the stock market continues to have a great year in 2019. And I think it will be a great year in 2019 because expectations are very low. Everybody's very negative going into 2019. Q4 scared a lot of people out of the market. And for us, we entered Q4 carrying 10 or 11% cash. We put all the cash to work in the quarter. It's been a great start to the year. And I think
you put all your cash to work in December?
In Q4.
In Q4.
In Q4. So we entered Q4.
Did you capture
a lot happened in Q4.
Yeah.
We captured. Which part of did you capture? The beginning of the Q4 or the end of Q4?
We captured the right part of Q4 with those buys. And we benefited coming out of that in the beginning of this year. And, people are worried about 6% earnings growth and that not being enough for the stock market, but nobody's talking about the fact that the market multiple is 15 or 16 times and interest rates are still at record low levels.
So for your thesis to bear out, and I'll come to you in just one second, but for your thesis to bear out, do you need to see multiple expansion? What do we've had a lot of people come on this show and give us all of the reasons why this could be a tough year.
Right.
And they can go through the comps and I can give you a lot of reasons why things break to the downside.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you look at them and you go, well, what is it that could break to the upside?
Right.
So I want to know what could break to the upside.
So many things. You get a trade deal. You get continued good growth in the United States. The expectation is for 6% earnings growth. That is very low expectations generally if you go back and look at the last 25 years. The expectations are that basically we're not going to get much growth. And when we surprise on the upside with better growth, we're going to have much better earnings growth than people expect. And the market multiple, which is sitting at 1 point higher than historical numbers, is probably going to go up 2 or 3 points. And you're going to have a 10 or 15 or 20% year in 2019, and nobody expects it.
Okay, Jason, love is in the air. You're gonna put a pin in it? What's happening here?
So we've been sort of like, also kind of overweight risk, relative to benchmark a little early in December, but I think it's kind of obviously paid off since then. I think we're also probably more constructive than most people on how this year could play out. But given the moves we've seen since December 24th, it's it's going to be a slower grind higher.
I thought you were a little bit more skeptical than he is.
Well, I think we're more skeptical. I think now what we've seen is the market moving 15% over the past 2 months. The risk then was 50% chance of recession this year. Now it feels like the market's a little more fairly priced. The upside scenario, though, is it's not so much earnings, it is kind of multiple expansion. So a scenario where I think you can get, the equity markets going much higher is Fed stays on hold, you get to the Goldilocks scenario. It's like almost like a 95 scenario where the Fed raised rates, then paused, and you actually saw kind of a reacceleration of growth, and you get multiple expansion in that case. Not our base case, but that's the upside scenario.
You're nodding your head and saying something under your breath. What's that?
Yeah, I would just say there is no recession in 2019. And I also think that we have a Fed chairman who's done a complete 180. And the stock market was spooked by the Fed chairman.
The Powell put is on.
The Powell put is on. And if that continues, the stock market is going higher in 2019.